Hey everybody, good morning everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's my usual greeting. Hello, hello, hello. What up, what up? Welcome through to the kingdom of the ape. What up, what up? Just fired it up like 5 seconds ago. If you're into debates, hang around. We always get some good ones. Here you can Yo, Ghost, what up, dog? Good morning. Here you can watch an undereducated hick perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith and doctrines and logics and stuff. It's pretty cool. We'll do it for y'all's entertainment, but more importantly, so we can wake people up to the scam, hopefully, that is Abrahamic religions, because they're silly and dangerous. What's up? What's up? Jack, if you requested up on purpose, hang out for just a minute and we will bring you up. Gonna give it just a few minutes here to pump it. Okay, cool. Yeah, hang out for just a couple minutes, buddy, and then we'll bring you up and get the day rocking here. Good morning, McMillian. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody. Good morning. Thank you for getting the like started for me. The screen taps, I appreciate you. That's what gets us rolling for the day. We already got somebody waiting here. Like I said, Jack, just hang out another minute or two if you don't mind. We're going to let a few folks roll in here. Literally just turn this thing on so we get started quick here. So, all right. We debate Christians up in here. And today we are back with the topics. Bible morals are a bad joke. God is unjust, the Trinity is incoherent, and as always, Jesus fulfills zero prophecy. And yes, that means zero. Josh, thanks, buddy. Shit, thank you. We're getting started this morning. Shit. Trying to get us out into the world. I appreciate the hell out of that. Haven't forgot about you, Jack. Hang tight, buddy. We're about to get to it here in just a minute. Usually let it stack up to, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 people, something like that. Of course, that goes up every morning, though, so they'll pop in here in just a bit. And we will get it on. Get on with the show. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Having a little B12 shot. And I'm jacked over here. Jacked, I tell ya. So good morning to everyone. Welcome through, welcome in, welcome through. Welcome through, everybody. Welcome through, everybody. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. Well, we had Jack in the queue, but I guess I couldn't wait 2 minutes. Jack, if you fell out and you're still there, come on back up. Somebody had their patience tested having to wait 2 minutes there. Don't worry about it too hard, though. We always get somebody in here to debate. TikTok is cool like that. I had a pretty decent day yesterday. I don't remember totally wanting to bang my head through the wall yesterday, so I guess we can consider that a W, right? That's a W, yeah. Consider that a W. Let's see. Nope. All right. If you're coming through for the first time, welcome in. We debate Christians here. Every now and then we slightly sling off to somebody else, but not very often. We just debate Christianity. But whether you like to watch me get crushed in debates or you think I'm doing the crushing around here, we appreciate you hanging around. If you're watching this, please tap that screen. That's what pumps us out into the world of the TikTok. Gets us debates and stuff up in here. And folks watching and stuff. What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I might actually have to take this thermal off before we get started. I feel like might get hot up in here. Might get a little too hot. Might be a little too hot in the kitchen this morning. What's up? Actually, yeah, I'll tell you what. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to take this thermal off and I'll be right back. It's cold outside, but it's not that cold in here. Alright, sorry. I could already tell that was going to get uncomfortable real quick. Alright, I'm back. Alright. Resituated here. Oh, alright, what's up? Hello, everybody. Miss Carrie Bay, Jesus is King. Not to me, he's not. To me, he's just a dead guy. Alright, now we can get started. I don't know why it's so hot in here right now. Wasn't that bad yesterday. But alright, here we go. Alright, I appreciate, as usual, all the screen taps. That's what really gets us going here. What pushes us out into the world on this fine Wednesday. This fine Wednesday. Alright, maybe Dom's here. Let's see. Let's go ahead. There's a couple people in the queue there now.
Oh, bro.
Are you there? What's up,
Yeah,
man?
hello.
Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 19. Yeah, I got a question,
Cool.
bro. So you're
Are
saying
you a
that
Christian?
Jesus, yeah, you're saying that Jesus didn't fulfill like any prophecies?
Yeah.
Any? Okay, can you go to
Yeah,
Psalm
0.
22 for me?
Yeah, that's not a prophecy,
No,
though.
actually, let's start with Isaiah 9:6. Let's start with Isaiah 9:6. Okay.
Alright. Yep.
Okay, so can you read from, I would like you to read from
6
9
and 7.
No. I would like you to read from 9:3 to 9 and 6 or 7, whatever you want, till 7.
Here, I'll just read 6 and 7. That's the
No.
point of everything, isn't it?
I want you to read the full thing. Come on, man. He
I
fulfilled
know
zero
what the whole
prophecies.
thing says. You know,
Yeah,
okay. What do
okay.
you want me
So
to read
read
from
it, but
again?
read it. I want you to read the whole thing. I don't want you to read something out of context.
Okay, I hear you. So
I
which
hear
verse do you want
you.
me to start on?
Yeah, the first 3 maybe or 2. Come on.
The first 3 or 2? All right, we'll
Yeah,
start
you
at
can
3. How
you
about
can
that?
start on verse 2 or 3. Come on.
Yeah, I heard you. Thanks. It says,
Thank
you have
you.
multiplied What?
I said thank you.
You're welcome. You have increased its joy. They rejoice before you as joy at the harvest, as with people exult when they're dividing plunder. For the yoke of their burden and the bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor you have broken as on the day of Midian. For all the boots of trampling warriors and all the garments rolled in blood shall be burned as fuel for the fire. For a child has been born to us, a son given to us. Authority rests upon his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Great will be his authority, and there shall be endless peace for the throne of David and his kingdom. He will establish it and uphold it with justice and righteousness from this moment onward and forevermore. So I imagine you think that's
Okay.
Jesus that fulfilled this, right?
Okay. Can you tell me, first of all, let me ask you a question. Who is given?
Can you answer the question I just asked?
Yeah, I think this is Jesus, but I want you to ask you a
Okay.
question. Who is given?
A name is given.
No, but who is given? A son is given, right?
Yeah, you asked me who the son
Yeah,
is?
son is given, and what's his
Yeah,
name?
Hezekiah.
No, it's not Hezekiah because the El
It
Gibor
is.
in
That's what
Hebrew,
this is about. It's about Hezekiah.
it's not a. Okay, so can you
It
show
is.
me anywhere in Hebrew? Because the word in Hebrew is El Gibor. Gibor is only used for Yahweh. Okay? Nowhere in Tanakh or in the Torah, Gibor is used for anyone else or a country or a person other than Yahweh. In Isaiah 10, chapter 6 to 7, it's used, Gibor is used also for Yahweh. So I'm just letting you know, the word right here in Hebrew, Gibor, is only used for Yahweh. Okay? So when it's talking about the son that is going to be born, right, is born, right? And he's going to be called the name of Yahweh, right? Only Yahweh has that name. And he's the everlasting
Yah
Father,
is a
which,
part of the name Hezekiah.
yes, oh,
Yeah.
so wait, you're telling me Hezekiah was called Yahweh?
It's part of his name. Yeah, these are prophetic
No,
names. This is an enthronement
brother,
prophecy and names.
Nobody
Yeah.
has names of Yahweh.
It's
People
what?
being called Elohim.
That's part of the name Hezekiah. Hezekiah, Yahweh. It's
No,
the
but I'm talking about El Gibor. Nobody is called that.
Well, either way,
Because then-
this
because
isn't
the names
Jesus,
mean many
Jesus
things.
never sat on the throne of David, and he certainly never brought endless.
Yeah,
peace
he
to
was
this
called the
throne
King
or
of Kings,
kingdom.
wasn't he? Who was David?
Yeah, by Christians, but not by Israelites.
No, but Jews, they called him the King of Kings by mocking him, right?
Yeah, by
They mocked
mocking
him. They said
not proclaiming
they
him a
said
king.
they
Do you know
said
the
that
difference between
because he
actually
said
being
his
king
kingdom
and
is
being
not of
mocked
this
as well?
world, right? Didn't he say
Sir,
that?
can we
And-
have an actual conversation here? Or are you just talking to me?
My bad. So he said that his kingdom is not on this world, right? And they mocked him. They
Well, this
called him the
kingdom
King of
is
Kings.
on this world because the throne of David is a literal throne in Jerusalem.
Yeah, but it could be a metaphor, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
It
Why would I
is.
think this is a metaphor?
Because literally there are other prophecies which he has to fulfill. He cannot
Well, Jesus
take the
didn't
throne of
fulfill
David.
this metaphorically or literally.
Okay, did Hezekiah was the King of Kings? No,
I don't
he
know if
wasn't.
they called him King of Kings, but he was the king.
No, but
He's
he
King
wasn't.
Ahaz's
He
son.
wasn't
That's
King
who
of
came
Kings.
next year.
He wasn't
So did
King
Jesus
of
sit on the
Kings.
throne of David or not?
Wait, but no, he was just called the King of Kings.
Okay, so this ain't about Jesus because he never sat on the throne of David.
It is because then
It's
the
not.
other
He
the
never
other
sat on
part
the
it
throne
says
of
he
David.
will be
This
the
is about
everlasting
the
Father.
throne
Did
of
Hezekiah? Wait, did Hezekiah rule forever?
No, I never said he ruled forever.
But it says that he
This
will
is
be
an
the everlasting
enthronement
Father, right?
prophecy. This is what they did when they enthroned new kings back then. The first two
No,
chapters,
but
first
no,
three or
that's
four
not
chapters
true.
before this are about King Ahaz. And the
That's not
son
true,
of King
bro.
Ahaz is Hezekiah.
But
It
but
is.
brother, nowhere it says that he will be the everlasting Father, which is also an attribute of Yahweh.
That's what
And second of-
Hezekiah means. It means the strength of God, mighty God, God's strength. That's what it's talking about.
And what if a name, if literally the word El Gibor is only given to Yahweh?
Yah is a pronunciation.
But I
in
don't care what the
names.
name means. I'm talking about the attribute. The
I know
word
you
is-
don't care, but that's the point. That's what this is about. It says he will be named a wonderful counselor, mighty God. This is talking about what.
Yeah,
he's
but
going to
this
be
word
named.
is not
It's an
used for anyone
enthronement
else but
prophecy.
Yahweh.
And
So you're
either
telling
way,
me
Jesus
somebody
never
else
sat
will
on
be-
the throne of
wait,
David,
somebody else
and
will
he
be
never
called
brought
God,
endless
right?
peace to anything.
Wait, apostate. You're telling me
What?
that he will rule forever, meaning eternity, everlasting Father, right? No end. He will have all authority, right? And he will be called the name of Yahweh. And he is a
Yeah,
son.
so it turns out kings have all the authority in their kingdom.
Wait. But forever. He will rule forever, right? And Hezekiah didn't have
It
all
says from
authority,
this
right?
moment onward forevermore.
Yeah, but he is a son, right? He's a given son.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is called the name of
Yeah.
Yahweh, which is only working for Yahweh, which we know from Isaiah 10, right? There's nowhere else, not a country, not a place, not a person which is called El Gibor. There's people named called El, right? We know this, but a Gibor, no.
This is a prophecy about the throne of David and the kingdom of David, which Jesus was never
Was
a king
Hezekiah
of.
King of Kings?
He was a king of Israel.
But he wasn't king of
actually
kings.
sat on the throne of David. He was from the line of Judah.
But David was King of Kings.
This part, Hezekiah was an actual king. Jesus wasn't.
But he had
And
he had
even
his
if this
kingdom.
wasn't about Hezekiah, and I
The
don't know what
world-
I'm talking about when it comes to that, this still ain't about Jesus either way.
But you see, I told you the problem with it is that not a single
Problem is
person
Jesus
could be
was
called
never sat
Gibor.
on the throne of David.
I mean, they called him King of Kings. That's the thing. That's why it's called a metaphor.
As a mock, my man.
Yes, that's why it's called a metaphor.
They never declared it was. They were mocking him. You understand?
Yeah, that's
right?
why it's called a metaphor. And second
So
of all,
you think this is a prophecy, a metaphorical prophecy?
no, the part of it is metaphorical. The rest of it is full.
The part you need to be metaphorical to make.
No,
it about
because we
Jesus
know
metaphorical
we
and
know
the rest
Jesus
is literal,
fulfilled
that's
it.
what you're saying.
We know Jesus fulfilled it in a way. It's not like he literally will do
No.
it. Yes, but
It's
you're
not
telling-
like he'll
but you're literally
do it.
saying
Like,
wait,
yeah,
but you're
literally
literally
supposed
saying
to
somebody
fulfill
is
his
called.
prophecies.
Wait, you're literally saying somebody is
Well.
called the name of Yahweh, which is impossible. Nobody could be named.
Nobody's
called the
calling
name of
anybody
Yahweh.
the name of Yahweh. I said Yah is a part
You
of the
said Hezekiah has a
pronunciation
name of
the
Yahweh.
Hezekiah. Yah.
Bro,
Hezekiah.
you're saying Hezekiah has a name that is only used for Yahweh, which is El Gibor.
No, that's not what I said. You should probably listen a little better.
Wait, what did you say? When I said El Gibor is
I
only
said
used for
Yah
Yahweh.
is a part of the pronunciation. That's how they make
Same
these
as Emmanuel
words.
means
Yah
God with us.
meaning
Wait,
this, and
Emmanuel
something
and
else meaning that, and you put them together, and it means Almighty God or the strength of God. That's what Hezekiah means.
Same as Emmanuel means God with us, right? Does that mean that Emmanuel is God?
Do you think Jesus is Emmanuel?
Wait, do you think Emmanuel is God because his name is God with us?
No, I know who Emmanuel is.
So do you think Hezekiah is God because he has Yah in his name?
No, why do you keep asking me if I think Hezekiah
So
is
let me
God?
ask you a question. So when a word in Hebrew is used
Ask an
only
actual
for
question
Yahweh.
and not something stupid that I didn't say.
Okay, when a word is only used for Yahweh in every context, not a single, this
Nope.
word is never used. Okay, can you show me anywhere else where El Gibor is used for a country?
Hezekiah. Look it up.
Did you hear what I say, brother?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, you said that the name is originates from Yahweh, right?
It says he will be named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. This
Yeah,
is what the
Everlasting
name will mean.
Father,
And Hezekiah
Mighty
means
God,
the
right?
strength of God,
Wait,
Almighty
but
God.
I want you to see
Yahweh
the fallacy
is part
in it.
of his name.
But I want you to see a
understand that,
fallacy
right?
in it. I want
There
you to
ain't no
see a
fallacy.
fallacy in it. It would work.
You're using the
Wait,
fallacy.
wait.
You're turning it into metaphorical
No,
fulfillments
because
when you
it
need to
would
be
work.
metaphorical.
Brother, it would work if El Gibor would be used for a person or a country, right? Or a
It's a bad
place.
argument.
It's not because it's only used for Yahweh.
It is. You're trying to change it to metaphorical where you need it to be and saying all the rest is literal, though.
No, because I'm telling you that Jesus actually fulfilled it. He was called the King of
He didn't
Kings,
fulfill it. He never sat on the throne of David.
but he was called the King of Kings, right?
There's no prophecy
And
here
if you
about
go
being
to-
called
if you
the
go
King
to
of
John-
Kings. This is about a king that sits on the throne of David.
And if you go to John 6,
so you
verse
don't even know what the
14,
prophecy is about.
but even
It
if you
says,
go
great
to
will be
John
his
6,
authority,
14,
and there shall be endless peace. Mocking Jesus
yeah,
by
everlasting.
calling him
And
something
you
doesn't mean
keep
he has
speaking
great
over me when I wanted
authority.
to explain the everlasting Father part. Do you believe Hezekiah ruled forever?
No, I've said that 3 times
So
already.
tell me, so why is he called the everlasting Father?
Because it's part of his name.
No, it's not like this. He's called the Almighty God, which is only used for Yahweh, and he's called the everlasting Father, right? That means he will
This is
rule
part
forever.
of the name that the enthronement
No,
prophecy
you don't get
is
it. You
entailing.
cannot name.
You
You
don't
cannot
get
use
it.
a word. You cannot. For example, if I quote you, I cannot use a word for you that is only used for Yahweh. I can't do it
I don't know why
because
you're
it's
stuck on
only
that. I never
used for
said there's a
Yahweh.
word here only used for Yahweh.
El Gibor is only used for Yahweh. Show me anywhere else.
I don't see anywhere. What are you talking about? What word means El Gabor?
El Gibor means mighty God. El means
What is
mighty.
the word in which verse are you talking about?
In 6.
In 6. So you're saying mighty God only means
El
Yahweh.
means God. Gibor means mighty or strong, right? But in
Okay,
this
well,
case,
the name Yahweh, literally the 2 enunciations, one of them being Yahweh means the strength of God. That means mighty God. That's what the name Hezekiah means. Do you
yeah,
understand?
but you don't understand something.
Wow.
When this is used, it's only used
Okay.
for Yahweh. It's not used for any
All
other
right,
person.
moving
That's the
on
thing.
from the name Mighty God, did Jesus sit on the throne of David or not?
Yeah, he was called the King of Kings.
No, he never sat
Just
on
like
the throne
David.
of You're just wrong. You don't even know what a king is.
That's why this prophecy is Like I said, this part is metaphorical because he's only called King of Kings by
It's metaphorical because you need it to be metaphorical to make it about Jesus.
I mean,
'cause otherwise, your little
because I'm
narrative
letting
falls
you know
apart,
the
don't
part
it?
with Hezekiah doesn't work because the word El Gibor is
It
only
does
for
work
Yahweh.
because he was
And
an
second of
actual
all,
king. That's
and
who this is
second of
talking
all,
about. It was
Hezekiah.
Ahaz's
Look, you're
son.
just speaking over me. You're speaking over me when I'm explaining.
You're speaking over me. I'm the host here. I can interrupt you.
Oh, so you can interrupt me when I'm speaking facts.
Yeah, for clarification and to keep you on track.
Wow,
I'm
that's
debating
crazy.
you, and I also
Wait,
have to
wait.
moderate.
So when
on
I'm
the channel here.
speaking, when I'm trying to explain my point, you're
Yeah, I'm
speaking
gonna
over me
let
so
you
nobody moves
explain,
me,
but
right?
you have to stay on track and stop repeating the same shit you've already said.
Because
5
you don't.
times.
Okay, so steal my argument. What's my argument?
That this is metaphorical.
No. What's my argument about El Gibor and Everlasting Father?
You've said it 5 times, and
Yeah,
I told
tell me
you
what's
what
my
this
argument.
name
If you
means.
know what's my argument, tell me what's my argument.
All right, we're gonna move on to somebody who
Yeah.
can actually check here. The delusional victories they declare every time never ceases to amaze me. I'm gonna repeat myself till I'm right. Wow. All right. Well, come back when you calm down a little, buddy, and you can stop hollering there. Wow. Here, I'll tell you what. Let's just look up what the name Hezekiah means. We'll squash this right now. The name Hezekiah, God's strength, or God strengthens. The name comes from 2 parts, Shazak and Yahweh, Yah. I wonder what I said earlier. Yah was part of this name, Hezekiah. Wow. I get that you can't like wrap that around your head because you'll be wrong, but yeah, it's about Hezekiah. That's what the name literally means. Boy, oh boy. We're off to a start today, aren't we? Off to a start today. Yeah, I know Isaiah better than Christians. It's metaphorical. The throne of David is always metaphorical. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Lots of folks think I get cooked all the time. Think what you want. Maybe Basta's here. Or maybe not. Basta, you there?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hey, bud. Sorry, you over 18?
Yes, I am. I'm 44.
Oh, cool. Are you a Christian?
First, I must say English is not my first language, so be patient with me. If I must ask, do I have to agree or disagree with this to be in the panel?
Yeah, disagree. We're just debating Christians up here.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll drop you back there. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, we just debate Christians up in here. As bad as it makes us want to bang our head against the wall sometime. We don't mind, though. That's why we're here. Thank you, Mommy. All right, well, let's try the next one. Oh, there's not a next one. Oh, maybe there is. Nope. All right, well, y'all tap that screen, please. Get us some pumping out into the world here. Let's see. Keep trying them here. Oh, somebody's loading. Jerusalem, you there?
How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for asking. Are you over 18?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Are you a Christian?
Well, I used to follow Christianity, but not for years. Once I found out that it was a lie. The Messiah.
Are you
never
driving
taught.
right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to drop you back, man. You can't drive in live. We don't need you running off the road and stuff or something, messing something up there. You got to pay attention, buddy. Sorry. All right, y'all tap that screen for me, please. Get some more Christians in here. Y'all can watch me get cooked some more. Won't that be great? No, I got you, man, but it's a TikTok thing. You can't drive in live. You have to be pulled over there. But if you're not a Christian, we can't. We're just debating Christians up in here anyway, so. What is up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Wonder if anybody can actually come up and name an actual prophecy that Jesus fulfilled that's not technicalities and metaphoricals. I mean, I know you can't, but I'm just curious. Like he originally said Psalm 22 first, and so that's not a prophecy, and then he went on and said, oh, let's do Isaiah 9. That's cool too, though. Because I like Isaiah 9. I actually know what it's about. Thank you for the heart. There's the wildflower in this morning. Thank you, wildflower. That's the screen tappingest person there ever was, and we appreciate you. Yeah, Psalm 22 isn't a prophecy. It's a lament of David. That's David praying to God, not God prophesying through David or putting words in his mouth. Let's see. Maybe Margaret's here. Margaret, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome. Are you over 18?
I am 63, sir.
Oh, that's a nice age. Are you a Christian?
Yeah, but not a Christian nationalist. That's
Oh,
why.
good.
Yeah,
Good, thank you.
that's why I'm conflicted about whether we should ditch the whole thing or not, because as intended by the ancient people, it was a good idea to follow Jesus's example for the path of life. It is the way, and it does set you free, and it does make us all happy. But the way it's being interpreted now is just a big corruption and a blasphemy. And we might just rebrand and from the
Might have to. It's looking pretty bad on some ends.
It's looking bad. I agree with you. It's been taken over and it's being misused harmfully. So we should chill out on the Christian message and switch it. And my ministry is sort of doing that. They're coming out politically now because this is more about mankind than it is about our, institutions that were to support that, because they've been corrupted. Their image has been corrupted by enemies. So
You
I
mean
think
MAGA,
Jesus,
right?
yeah, I think Jesus
I
himself
hear you.
would appreciate that we would switch gears and be effective rather than, be stubborn and stick to our branding of this important message for mankind.
Well, I'm not. Do you actually want to debate on something? I'm not even sure I really want to
Yeah,
debate you
no,
now.
there's nothing to debate. I get it. I just want to say, yeah, but I do hope someday that when this hopefully passes, and it will, it's cyclical, that we recover, because the church was, it was a great thing. It taught you history, music, and it gave good messages. But yeah, it's being fucked with now. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
love
Well, I
you
hear
in
you're
the
a
old.
fuck MAGA.
Yes.
Not,
Thank you for
that's coming from a
working.
heathen.
I appreciate it. I wish I had all day, but I have to take care of people. So
I hear
anyway,
you. Well, you
good
go ahead and
work.
do that.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. I'll
Yeah.
drop you back here.
Okay.
All right. Yes, we agree. Fuck MAGA. If you're from America and you pay as much taxes as I do, hey, vote for whoever the bleep you want to, and don't give a fuck what nobody thinks. With that said, fuck MAGA. Free speech, baby. America. All right. Let's try the next one.
So,
Swain, are
man,
you there? What's
yeah,
up,
how you
dog?
doing?
I'm doing all right. Are you over 18?
Yes, sir. I'm 19.
Awesome. Are you a Christian?
Yes, sir. I am.
Good deal. So which one of these topics you want to debate us on here today?
Um, I think we can debate Bible morals are bad and then go a little bit into God is unjust, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, great.
All
That'll be
right.
just fine. So yeah, I say Bible morals are a bad joke because most Christians I know of anyway claim objective morals and stuff like that exist. But when it happens all through the Bible that it violates these objective morals, for some reason God gets a pass on there. So you do you think it's like objectively wrong to own people as property, to have slaves?
Absolutely.
Well, you know the Bible allows that, right?
Yeah, it says some but it says something about the slave in the Torah that it was the same slave that we look at it as today. Like these were
It's owning
slaves.
people as property.
Yeah, though. I see what you're saying though, yeah. But I mean I
Yeah,
think in the
that's chattel
Bible,
slavery. That's the definition of chattel slavery is owning
chattel
people as
slavery, yeah,
property.
that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. I agree with you
Yeah.
on that. But I think the Bible shows, there were times when people thought things were okay and it was like more socially accepted. Like even the age range of dating and marrying was a lot more disagreeable. But over time I think the Bible explains like, some things aren't okay, especially in modern time. And I think when you read the Bible, you can actually like see that, like, these things are okay now.
Well, sure, but if it's objectively wrong, it's objectively wrong now. It was objectively wrong then, right?
I don't think so, no. You think
Well,
you
you
think
just made
slavery
congratulations, you just made moral subjective.
moral subjective? Well,
Yeah, it's subjective now. If
I
it's
think it's
not
okay for
objectively wrong now, then it wasn't objectively wrong then. Then
I
since
don't
it's debatable, it's subjective by its nature, right?
I mean, me being a Christian, me believing in a higher power, of God, and a Jesus, I think whatever they want to make subjective or objective, they absolutely can. And that's just my belief. So I don't want to
Yeah, but
argue
if it's
that.
objective, it has to stay that way. Otherwise, it's subjective.
So, so why did slavery end? American
Why did it
slavery.
end?
Yeah,
Uh, because people knew it was wrong and ended it.
but people been knew it was wrong,
But
right?
not because of the Bible. The Bible says it's okay. The Bible was used to justify slavery and help end it, actually. The problem is that it doesn't actually say you can't own slaves anywhere, but it says you can own them in several spots.
But now the 13th Amendment said you can't own slaves at all, and
Right, yeah.
that was still in place by I think a Christian driven government, because that wasn't made in the
Christians had something to do
2000s.
with it, yeah. Yeah, it's like today. Like, I don't even bring this up a whole lot because most Christians that I know don't even know this is in here. And the ones that do know it's in here don't even think it's about actual slavery. They think it means like indentured servitude. So they don't even know any better. So I give them a pass, right?
Yeah, no,
But
I come on
but when it
here.
comes down to it, it does say it. Here, I'll just read it. It says,
Yeah,
as for the
I
male and
come on
female
here with
slaves you may
personal.
have, it is from the nations. Wait, what?
No, I just want to let you know I come on here with personal like aspects, but I'm open to being educated. I have no problem with being educated at all.
Oh, well, me either. I guess when you debate in public, you run that risk.
Yeah, people be mad when you educate them. That's bullshit.
Right. So my point is, though, if it's objectively wrong now, it has to be objectively wrong then too, or else it is subjective because it's just going back. Well, it's objective now, but it's okay then. Like that's literally what's making it subjective and not objective. Because if it's objectively wrong, it's objectively wrong that the Bible has it in there and allows it.
Okay.
And this is just one of many examples like this. That's why I say Bible morals are a bad joke, because they claim there's objective morals and then violate it constantly in the book.
I mean, but what do you think about the like the modern day morals, the things we go off of now, like don't murder, don't love thy neighbor,
Yeah, I mean that's
marry,
been in basically every
reproduce.
society ever, even back in the caveman days when we lived in small little hunter gatherer groups. That was still, you couldn't just murder people. Like that was your nobody. We don't want to be murdered ourselves, so we agree that murdering is bad for other people. But when it comes down to it, all of this is subjective by its very nature.
All right.
I
Okay.
don't think there's any such thing as objective morals.
All right. Can you go into God is unjust? I don't want to take up all the time on here, but can you go into God is unjust a little bit?
I mean, I got time if you're cool, man. But
Yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm
yeah,
cool.
yeah, totally. So it's the same difference here because God is unjust because he allows stuff like this, but also because he does stuff like generational punishments and punishing people for other people's crime, harsh punishments for not very harsh crimes like bodily mutilation, stuff like that. I don't think any of this is justice.
Mm. Do you think like how people are getting treated right now by like white people are getting treated now by black people? You think that's God being unjust, or like
I
how
don't
it's
think
like?
God has anything to do with that if that's something that's going on.
Yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit on that, but
I crawl out on a limb even and say maybe white people got it coming, but I didn't do anything. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
you're the
Like,
first person I heard say that. I appreciate you for that.
well, I've been just saying, but like I didn't do anything, so like punishing me for what white people did would still be unjust. But you know, I can feel where you're coming from.
Right. That's real. That's real.
Yeah, it can't be justice to punish people for other people's crimes. That's
Right.
why I say that, and God does that a lot in brutal fashion, actually.
Like, but like, do you think like flooding the earth is like one of his unjust moments?
Yeah, because not everybody there could have been guilty of the crime. Like the babies, the kids. I mean, you could argue some men and women were, but maybe they're just owed a loaf of bread. Like they don't deserve to be drowned for that.
Yeah. Well, all right.
But
Thank
like,
you. What was that?
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go. You were saying something.
Well, I was just going to go into another example, but if you got to go, we'll
No,
pick up
go
on
ahead.
that.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to bring up when God told David to take the census, so he took a census, and God said wrong answer, and he unalived 70,000 people because of David taking the census. Like to me, that's messed up beyond measure.
Yeah. But I mean, I think having the higher power, just being up there controlling things, you'll never understand why, you know? And that's why, I mean, I
Maybe
love
not,
being,
but I understand what justice is. So when it says that people are being punished for what one person did, I mean, I can only use my concept of justice to judge that by. You know what I mean?
yeah, I get that. I
I
100%
mean,
get
I
that.
can't stare at something I consider evil and schmurder and be like, maybe I just don't get it. Somehow it's got to be love, right? I mean, to me, that's not good. You don't think
Yeah.
that's good, do you?
I mean, I'm a Christian. I'm a diehard Christian. So anything that God did, I'm not gonna lie. I think He did it for a reason. It's a way bigger picture than a human eye can imagine. You know.
Can you think of a good reason why he would unalive 70,000 people because one person counted people?
Um, the whole David situation. Can I justify it?
I mean, can you think of any reason at all that would be a justified thing?
Bringing people to heaven.
What if they didn't go to heaven?
They wasn't living the righteous lifestyle. But a lot of these
Yeah, but they
people,
were unalived because of what David did, though. And God told him to do it.
God told him to do it, but did He do it right?
He told him to take a census. David took a census. And God said apparently that was the wrong answer and unalived 70,000 Israelites as a result. And this is only one example of this. There's a whole bunch.
Mm.
So, I mean, as a Christian, you would have to stand there and watch these atrocities taking place and say, he knows better than me. It's got to be love of some sort. But you would literally be watching like a genocide, thinking like it's a good thing and loving somehow or another.
Yeah, but I don't know, because like if a dad sees that his whole family is doing good, right, and then it's this one son, and he's destroying the family. I don't per se like taking that son out of the family and then like moving him into like military school. I don't say that's an unjust thing.
What about setting him on fire?
It's pretty extreme.
I agree.
These-
You don't think God's being extreme here? It's beyond extreme, in my opinion. This is straight up psychotic.
No, but hey, I can to be real, it's extreme moments in the Bible. There are like disagreeable moments. It's just the same thing as voting, right? Like you're not going to agree on everything that president has done and will do, right? So it's like you just got to rock with it, man. I mean, but that's religion based. I'm not saying like, if a human out here doing that, you got to rock with them. Nah, but just that being my
Yeah,
God.
but why give God a pass on this just because he's God, though? Like he's violating our own standards of justice and love and morality and all that in a harsh manner, but he gets a pass for some reason. Like, is there anything God could do that you would watch him do and think and know he's doing something bad or evil or unjust?
Is there anything God can do that I would see and I'll be like, oh, that's evil and unjust?
Yeah, would you be able to know if God was doing something evil?
I think maybe if I'm up there with God and I get to see what he like, what he got going and what he like, I don't think I'll ever look at him as harming his own people. I think it's a plan, and it's an unscathed plan. Like you cannot imagine and fathom what, like, because schmurdering in his mind, it can't be schmurdering. I feel like it's something else, like, but I can't fathom what that is, like.
Well, yeah, that's my point here. That's what's really scary and dangerous about this doctrine here, I think. And that's that you can't even tell me if God was doing something evil or not. So you literally just have to watch and be like, I guess God knows better. But like, we know this is murder by our standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying. That's what scares me about people is that they drop their standards in order for a divine command, which allows for that command to literally make you do anything
but
in the
not
name of love.
I don't think. But like you said, as a human, we can't do that. We know not to do that to other humans. We know not to treat each other like that. That's God doing that to his humans. Per
Yeah, but
se.
why worship it?
I mean, in these terms, we're speaking as if God was really here and he's really like committing these atrocities. If you're
Well,
asking
the
me why I
book says he
believe,
did, though.
huh?
The book says he did.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're asking me like, then why believe? I mean,
Well, I'm
it
saying
doesn't take
why.
away from him being God,
Well, sure, but what I'm asking is, like, if this is clearly violating our standards of justice and morality and all these, especially if you have objective morals, like, I don't understand how you can look at objectively things that are objectively wrong and say, oh, well, God does it all the time, but that's just God being God. Like, to me, that
because
makes no sense.
to be honest, I'm not a God. I haven't created the seven. I didn't create create the earth, create the universe in 7 days. Like I would never be able to fathom the like. Of course, it's subjective, and you go like, well, that's not right. Of course, I read things throughout the Bible, the flooding, in my opinion. I can read that over and over again and tell another Christian, that shit wasn't right, like in my opinion. But will I say? Would I stop it from happening? Would I engage? No, absolutely not. I hope I would be on that
Well, I mean,
arc.
that's my opinion, though. Like, your own opinion is that this is wrong. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
you're saying it's wrong. You know it's wrong, but you're foregoing your own knowledge and opinion of the situation to say, oh, it's God. You got to worship him anyway. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, it's just the
Like, I
Christian
would expect,
mindset.
like, if I was going to worship a God, I would want a God that actually embodies the morals and practices that he wants us to do ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, if it's important to God that we treat each other good, I would expect that God would treat us good like God told us to do. You know what I mean? Because
Well,
otherwise, he's just being like a do as I say and not as I do type leader. And that's not good.
are you at all religious?
Not anymore. I was a Christian until I was almost 30 years old.
Oh, okay. So it's just clear cut atheist now.
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, I can't really explain, like what God really like, I don't know, like, because smothering in his eyes, again, I don't think, it's the same thing. I don't think we can perceive his level of smother into like our
Yeah, but we
human.
know what schmurder is. We have a standard of schmurder. It's unlawfully unaliving somebody against their will, right?
Yeah, but as a
So
human,
we know what it is, and
is
we
there
know this God is doing this.
is there any laws on our Christian God? Is there any laws on him that says he can't do this or it'll be
No, I mean,
unjust
you
or
can make the argument God can do whatever he wants, but that doesn't make it right. Like, look at it this way. Say I could create all the little bunny rabbits I wanted to. And every morning I make me a bunny rabbit and I torture it for fun. Like, do you think that would be evil?
is it just you just said for fun? I don't
Yeah.
think God is just doing what he does for fun.
Okay, well, say I was just doing it for because I felt like it.
I don't think God was doing it because he felt like it.
Well, it's just a bunny that I made. It's not important to anything or has any meaning. You know what I mean?
But if you give it meaning, like God gave human meanings,
So why is it okay that he gives humans meaning and then takes it away?
takes away what the life or
Takes away
will.
their life, their meaning. You're saying if they have meaning just because he made us, then I feel like the argument's getting moved around here.
I mean, the generation. Well, the flooding. Uh, it says the generation was poisoned, and God knew himself that no good was coming from this generation. I think God can,
So
tap
it just
into.
made more generations that did the same thing.
No, because he did it, and he recreated a generation, but he also at the same time promised that with the rainbow, this will not happen again. So as bad as our
Well, he
generation,
promised he wouldn't destroy the earth by flooding it. He says next time it's going to be fire. He just promised he wouldn't do it the same way.
oh really?
Yeah. But what good did it do? Like, he destroyed people for being wicked, and more wicked people popped up. So, I mean, what was the purpose? What did it solve?
I think it produced different religions, and that came with the term "love thy neighbor." Like Abraham and Ishmael, creating sorry about that, creating small hats and um and Muslims, and after that we
Was that God's plan?
absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. In the Bible, it talks about the creation of different religions. It talks about loving different religions too.
Well, I
Loving thy
mean, you're
neighbor.
you're saying the flood came about and brought those on, and that was what changed. Like that was the point of the flood.
Yeah, because David kids, Abraham, Ishmael, they made these religions. Jesus was born as a small hat, and then he led his people. He. I feel like he was the way. He was the absolute reason for Christianity. It's not about he came and he showed it's not about Muslim or it's not about Jewish. I mean, small hats. This is how you worship God. And so if you ask me like, so what did the flooding have to do with any of that? The flooding started that. The flood made David and his sons and all them animals go on the boat and then after leave the boat and then create, all these, Middle Eastern places that we have and then moving northern and things like that.
Well, I mean, if God brought the flood to punish sin, though, and like the angels that was left over on the earth, sin was still here afterwards. So it seems kind of pointless to me.
But how could you say it's pointless after all these things has happened though?
Because the same thing just popped back up again.
Like what?
Like, well, you know, Jesus was after the flood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the flood comes, God punishes everybody because they're being way too wicked, right?
hmm
Well, everybody's being wicked, so now he needs to send Jesus to die for everybody's sin. So he didn't get rid of any sin or wickedness with the flood.
But yeah, but I could have sworn the rainbow was a promise that he was never going to like mass take away all of us again. I could have sworn it was a
No, it was just the method. He says, I promise I won't flood the earth again. He says, next time I'm going to end you with fire.
jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't even promising I won't unalive you all again. He was just saying, I'm not going to do it by drowning you. It's not even that great of a promise. He said, I promise I won't drown you next time. Next time I'm going to light you on fire. That's love.
I okay, but you don't think about nothing about like after the flood though, like with David, Abraham, Ishmael, and then like
Well, I
they
mean, the
created
world
in
went on,
turn.
yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying the flood didn't have any real purpose.
But that had to happen in order for all the the bad to be flushed away and then the good to
The bad was
prosper.
still there.
I mean, yeah, you can say that, but what was
That's why
it?
Jesus had to come along. If God flooded the world and got rid of all the sin, there wouldn't have been no need for Jesus. But it was still pretty bad, wasn't it?
It was in turn bad. It wasn't good at all. I mean, as a human, I can't sit there and say like, a flooding of the entire earth was good. Like because I am a human at the end of the day. So no,
Right.
it wasn't good, but I do think it still was a plan. I do.
Uh,
Jesus, I think he was always the plan, and everything happening in turn created Jesus.
do you know in the Old Testament it says each will die for their own sins when the new covenant is formed?
It says each will die for their own sins,
Yeah, somebody
meaning
can't die for your sins.
in the Old Testament.
Yeah, Jeremiah 31.
And then the New Testament comes along, and then it says Jesus died for our sins. So can we
Exactly.
say, can we say that that's like a scare tactic, if anything?
I mean, it's something. But whoever said Jesus died for your sins didn't read Jeremiah.
No, but yeah, no, that's the Old Testament. The New Testament is after Jesus.
Yeah, I know. But Jesus is way after the Old Testament. And the Old Testament says when the new covenant is formed, and that's after the Babylonian exile, that each will die for their own sins from that point onward.
But was he talking about small hatism?
Talking about what?
Like small Uishism, because I think they believe they pass away for all their sins and the things they commit in their life, and that just sounds like like Torah. That doesn't really sound like and a lot of the Old Testament is inspired by the Torah.
Sure, but they didn't seem to understand it very well because when the new covenant forms in the Old Testament, when the exiles leave Babylon, it says the individual like justice is supposed to take over. Like God is unjust up until this point in the Old Testament because he allows generational punishments. But when the new covenant is formed after the exile, it's saying each will die for their own sins. Like justice is supposed to take over. That's why all these messianic prophecies says this Messiah that comes is going to rule Jerusalem and Israel and the world actually with justice. Like that's what the whole thing is supposed to be about. It's supposed to
Wait,
instill justice.
you said each will die for their own sins.
Yeah. You
Wouldn't
want me to read it?
Yeah, but can't you say um in this life each will die for their sins? In this life, it's not, you can't say it's bad for saying you will pass away for your sins. You will ultimately pass away either way as a human being, right? So Why not for
Sure,
your
but
sins you will pass away, and then
well,
after?
sure, but for your sins, this means nobody can die for your sins but you. You have to be individual responsibility is the whole point of the new covenant.
Until you said to the new covenant.
The new covenant is in the Old Testament. That's what a lot of Christians don't know, I don't think.
But how come the new covenant can't just be, you know, small hats? Like
It's a
that's what.
covenant that God made with the house of Israel, and he actually says if this covenant is ever broken, then Israel will never be a nation before God forever again.
But
Never.
yeah, that's small hats. What about Christians?
Yeah, but it's still a prophecy from God.
But it has nothing to do with Christians, you know?
I know Christians come a long way after the fact and tried to change the meaning of all this without even knowing what it actually means. The wording is extremely clear here. This is God himself giving a new covenant for the people. And he says, if this covenant is ever broken, Israel will never be a nation before me ever again.
All right.
I can read
Well,
it if you want. It's pretty clear.
no. You're doing good. You're doing good. And I'm gonna just do a little bit more research so I can debate back and forth on this. I
Yeah,
don't
that'll
want
be
to.
fine. Read Jeremiah 29, 30, and 31, but maybe read 29 through 33. Read those 4 chapters there. You should have a real good idea of what Jeremiah is about.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that, and then I'm gonna read all the debate aspects, and I hope to see you back on here. We could have a back and forth.
Heck yeah, sounds good, Swain.
All right. Thank you, man. This is a great conversation.
Shit, thank you. Yeah, I agree. I wish holy shit, I wish they all went like this.
Yeah, they need to.
I'm telling you.
Have a good
Well,
day,
thank you,
man.
buddy. We're going to move on to the next one here. Well, that was a good conversation, wasn't it? Some people just come along and refresh my faith in humanity here. So that was cool. That was a good one. I am busting up in followers once again. Moving on up, moving on out. Hey, morning, Katrina. Good morning. Did I make my goal already? Shit. Hold on, I'll keep forgetting how to do these things. Connect now, start now. No, that's not it. Just a second, sorry. Wow, thank you all. I hit my gold. 100 of the little fest pop thingies. I appreciate the shit out of that. Well, let me set a new one then. All right, let's see. We like the fest pops there. So this time, let's see if we can get to 500. I'll do 500 now. Apparently, 100 was a good goal, I guess. So. All right, got that reset. All right. Yeah, the thing was changing. It confused me, but thank you, Petrina. Appreciate y'all looking out for me. I miss things quite easily sometimes. All right, we got I doubt they're all here actually, but there's 9 people in the queue here. Spring Metro. Oh, it was here. Metro, you there?
Yep, you can hear me?
Yeah. What's up, bud? Are you over 18?
28.
Awesome. Are you one of the Christians?
Yeah, I'm a disciple of Christ. I heard a little bit. You said that. So you said you did follow Christ, but you fell out of it in your 30s. You said, how old are you now?
Well, I'll be 42 pretty soon, but I left Christianity when I was 26 or 27.
So what led you to fall out of your faith?
The Bible.
I mean, like, what specifically? Are you just saying the Bible in general, or are you saying like it was a specific verse that rubbed you the wrong way,
Well,
or?
lots of no, like just problems with the Bible. Like they're immense. They're all over the place. Like the New Testament don't even seem to know what it's talking about when it brings up stuff about the Old Testament. But Jesus doesn't actually
So
fulfill
you feel
any of
like
the
it's so you
prophecies in
feel
the
like it's
context.
so you feel like it's a lot of contradictions. Is that basically what you're saying?
Lots of contradictions, lots of failed prophecies. I mean, all kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I just want to rebuttal on what you guys were talking about earlier, as far as the flood aspect, things were very bad before the flood. I don't know if you read the whole Old Testament. I don't know if you started from Genesis and moved forward through the rest of the books, but the world, it was mandatory that it had to be flooded. I mean, if you know the whole history behind it, with the fallen angels and them mating with women, turned them into witches and created Nephilim, and the Nephilim
Yeah.
actually ruling and people not
Sounds
being
like a
able
big
to
old fairy
actually
tale.
live there. Yeah, no, it's no, and maybe it can sound like one to, you have to actually believe and have faith in it. Like the Bible is only as
I
good
do.
as
I
your
used
faith.
to. Well, it's
Yeah,
only
so
as
that's
good
why
as
I'm saying
logic
if
when
you
you
if you had
actually
if you
start
had a strong
scrutinizing the
belief,
scriptures
it was
here.
something. If you had a strong belief system, it was something that turned you away from it. Like I mean, you're saying it's just like contradictions that you ran across. That's what I'm trying to see. Like, is it pinpointed or is it just like it has to be
It's
pinpointed?
all over. I can pinpoint several. We can sit here for the next week straight, and I could show you stuff I have problem with in the Bible. But the biggest part is Jesus is not who the New Testament says he is, because every time it quotes Jesus fulfilling these prophecies, if you actually just go read them, there's problems all over the place. The actual context of the prophecies don't have anything to do with Jesus. What they're talking about, they some of them aren't even prophecies. I mean, it's pretty bad.
I mean, I have to. You would have to say or name something that wasn't fulfilled, because I don't really have any knowledge of something that wasn't fulfilled by Jesus that was prophesied.
You want me to show you?
I mean, yeah, we can speak, or you can, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to read the last little part of this is my favorite one to start off with, then we can move along after this one. But this is my favorite one to start with here, and it's in Matthew chapter 2. So I'm going to start reading at verse 22 here, and it says, "But when he had heard that Archelaus was ruling in Judea in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. And after being warned in a dream, he went away to the district of Galilee. There he made his home in a town called Nazareth, so that what had been spoken through the prophets might be fulfilled. He will be called a Nazarene." So Matthew is saying that Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy about being called a Nazarene and quoting prophets who quoted this saying he will be called a Nazarene. So can you show me anywhere in the Bible that prophets say there's a prophecy and quote he will be called a Nazarene?
I don't really see the contradiction in that verse. Like, what are you saying is being contradicted? What part is contradicting to you?
Matthew is quoting a prophecy about a Nazarene. He's saying Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy by going to Nazareth and being called a Nazarene, right?
So what
Yeah.
is your?
So where's this prophecy in the Bible? Where'd Matthew get that from? Who's he quoting?
Well, if any quote, anything that he's getting from is coming from the Father, everything, they all have a
Yeah, but
relationship.
where's that? He's quoting prophets though from the Old Testament. That's what he spends these first several chapters doing here. So I would like to know if
Yeah, I
Jesus
mean,
is fulfilling a prophecy about being a Nazarene. Where is this prophecy at? What prophecy is he talking about?
what I will tell you is that what a lot of people have about the Holy Bible is what's kind of what you're saying is like, oh, there's they feel like it's holes and it's like certain things that might not make sense because it's like stuff that's like it's like empty spaces, I guess, is what you're trying to say. Like, but you also have to understand that there is more books besides the Holy Bible that was in the Holy Bible that,
Can you show me
if you
anywhere
read
in any
like
of it where this prophecy is?
yeah, I mean, I don't. There's definitely the prophecy. I think you're saying that that prophecy was never like a thing. But I don't know how
It's
you can
not.
say that
It's
if.
nowhere. Matthew
Yeah, I mean,
made it up.
what's another example that you can give me? Because that one I think will be
Well,
at
could
a
we get
standstill
past this
for
one
me.
first?
I mean, I don't. I think so. Your argument
Like,
is that you feel like there wasn't a prophecy for that. That's what you.
there
That's
is
that's
no
your argument,
prophecy
and that
about this. Can you show it to me?
I'll have to open my Bible, and go back
If you think
into
you
it.
can find it, go
But
ahead. But I'll save you the trouble. It's not in there.
well, even if it's not, how does that turn you away? I don't get how does that
This
turn
is
you
just
away
one
from God?
example. It's all of these examples put together that turned me away. But Matthew is lying here. He's saying Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy that's not even in the Bible. So why is Matthew saying Jesus is fulfilling prophecies that's not even prophecies?
Well, you also have to understand too. I'm pretty sure it was prophesied. Jesus was
Well,
prophesied
show
in the
us.
Old Testament. If you don't know,
Show us.
it's not literally. He's not literally saying Jesus will come in the New Testament. That's not what's literally being said by the Father in the Old Testament. But it shows that he knew already that he would have to bring his son down to be sacrificed, and the son of Nazareth would be Jesus Christ. Like that's all that stuff was prophesied through the Old Testament already.
I
Before
don't
the New
think so. I
Testament,
don't think it's anywhere
a
in
lot of
there.
that stuff was already premeditated. The
According
Lord
to who?
doesn't
The New
move
Testament?
in the moment. Like, you know what I'm
So
saying? He
why
doesn't
should I
move in the
take
moment. A lot of that
why
stuff is
should I take Matthew serious if he's naming prophecies that aren't even in the Bible?
that. I mean, that's a very I feel like that's a very thin reason to fall out of your full faith with God, because you feel like Matthew
Because
named
Matthew's
a
lying about
prophecy
Jesus
that you
fulfilling
can't.
prophecies? I feel like that's a pretty good reason.
But how is he lying though? Because you can't
Because
go
it's not
backtrack
in
in the
there, my
Old
man.
Testament.
It's not in there. If I'm making up prophecies and saying this guy over here fulfilled them, and they're not actually even in there, and it's not the guy fulfilling them, I mean, what else am I to draw here other than he's lying about it?
Read the scripture one more time
It
for me.
says, but when he had heard that Archelaus was ruling Judea in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. And after being warned in a dream, he went away to the district of Galilee. There he made his home in a town called Nazareth, so that what had been spoken through the prophets might be fulfilled. He will be called a Nazarene. This is the fourth prophecy in Matthew chapter 2 that he's saying Jesus fulfills here. And he's quoting the prophecies.
Okay, so to break that verse down, Matthew did not want to go to this city because it was being ruled by a man who wasn't being led by God, but he was also being told not to go to that city and return to Nazareth. That's what you're saying, correct?
That's what Matthew is saying. There's a prophecy that Jesus is
That's what the script
fulfilling
says.
about being called a Nazarene.
Yeah. So what is the? I'm still trying to figure out what's the problem. Like what?
The problem is
I'm
there
still
is
trying to
no
figure out.
such prophecy anywhere in the Bible. Matthew completely made it up.
Okay, let's say Matthew did make it up. Let's say Matthew did
Yeah.
make it up. That's one man. I'm looking for you to give me something that you can relate to actual Jesus or the Father that's
Well,
making you
here's one
contradict yourself
prophecy.
in
We
conversation.
can
You're
move on
talking
tomorrow, I
about
promise.
one man in the Bible.
I've still got an hour I
Or
can
go
be
ahead.
on here. We can move on to other ones. But this is only the
Yeah, I
first
definitely
example
want
that
to,
I'm using.
like, not using a man, but what is something? What problem do you have with actual Jesus or with the Father? Or with the Holy Spirit?
That he
What
didn't
problem do you
fulfill
actually
a
have with
single
that?
prophecy that the New Testament says he does. He doesn't. He is not this Messiah. He can't be.
Okay, what's something that you feel like hasn't been fulfilled as of today? What hasn't been fulfilled through
I'm
the
on
prophecy?
one right now. He certainly didn't fulfill a prophecy about being a Nazarene, did he? Because the prophecy's not in there.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
don't know.
here's
That's
one
that's
down that he didn't fulfill, right?
okay. Go on. I don't know if we can even agree to disagree on that one, but just we'll move on. If you want to, we can move on to the what is your next reason why, or your next standing point on why
Well,
you
we can just keep going through the prophecies that he doesn't fulfill here. That's pretty easy. But like, do you not understand I have a problem with Matthew saying Jesus is fulfilling prophecies that aren't in the Bible?
I'm seeing what you're saying in a sense, but like I said, I don't
So
understand.
it's not a
I would
problem
need
for
to
you
study.
that the
I
New
would need to
Testament can just make
completely
up
study that
prophecies that
verse.
Jesus fulfills?
Like I said, I would need to completely study that verse to actually fully argue with you about that specific verse. Um, but I just don't, like I say, I don't believe that's a very, to me, I would say that's a small reason to fully fall out your faith with God. That's why I was looking for
Well, how
maybe
many
something that.
prophecies do I need to read and show you Jesus didn't fulfill it before you
Well, that's why
start
I say
realizing that?
list and say another prophecy that was like a something that's
I will.
more.
There's three more just in this chapter alone.
Okay, I'm listening for this
Okay, well, let's
for the
do
next
this
one.
one next then. How about this one? This was also in Matthew chapter 2, and it says, Now after he had left, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, Get up, take the child and his mother, and flee to Egypt, and remain there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him. Then Joseph got up, took the child and his mother by night, and went to Egypt. And they remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophet. Out of Egypt I have called my son. So now Matthew is saying Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy about being called out of Egypt. And he is quoting a prophecy from Hosea this time. And it says, so this time the prophecy is at least there, right? So this time he's saying, out of Egypt I have called my son, is the quote of the prophet. So do you know where that prophecy is from?
Old Testament, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
this
is
ain't
your
a prophecy, but at least it's in there this time.
right? I mean, I believe, and that's why I say I think it all comes down to you actually. So, but when you just read that, you told me that there was no proof of the prophecy, but now you're saying from what you just read that it is proof of that prophecy. So, I'm asking you to
No,
tell me
I
something
just
that
said it's not even a prophecy.
I just heard you say that it was, brother.
No, I said it wasn't. I said the prophecy in air quotes, but I said it's not a prophecy. But I said at least this time his quote is in the Bible, but I didn't say it was a prophecy.
Well, I'll say from a just we don't have to go all the way down the line, but I'll just say from like a bird's eye view. To me, it seems like your well, I won't call them strong points, but your points on why you fell out your faith is not. I don't know if that's justifiable. I mean maybe
Well, it's
maybe to
justifiable
you,
because he
maybe to
doesn't
you,
fulfill a
but
single stinking prophecy that the New Testament says he does. This is a problem for me. Like, I know y'all don't have a problem with it, but I have a problem with it. Because here, Matthew, that prophecy I just quoted, out of Egypt I've called my son, you remember?
yeah, go on.
That's literally half a sentence. Matthew has cherry picked half of a sentence and says this is a prophecy that Jesus is fulfilling, and it's from Hosea 11. If you actually go read it, this is what it says. It says, When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I called my son. The more I called from them, the more they went from me, and they kept sacrificing to the balls and offering incense to idols. So Matthew was saying in chapter 2, Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy about being called out of Egypt. But when you actually read it, it tells you this is talking about Israel, and it's a retelling of the Exodus narrative. It's not even a prophecy. So again, Matthew is lying and cherry picking sentences and saying Jesus is fulfilling prophecies.
Yeah, well, what I'll
Have you
do
read
is
Hosea
because
11 before?
I don't want to speak. Say it again. Have I read Hosea
Have you
11?
ever read Hosea 11?
Um, so I need to. I am versed in the New Testament. I'm way more versed in the Old Testament than I am the New. I know about 4 to 5 books out the New Testament, not including Revelations. But what I will say, is that I would need to get truly more versed into the verses that you're speaking about to really debate with you on them. I thought that maybe when you were saying like it's a contradiction in prophecies, um, yeah, I would just have to I would have to go back. It's the New Testament. I don't think it's also meant to be consistently like you just always reverting back to the Old Testament, because the New Testament
Yeah, but he's
there's new rules.
quoting
There's a
the
lot
Old
of
Testament and saying Jesus is fulfilling these prophecies, though. He's making Jesus the
which
Messiah
I
with
which
these
which I
stories.
which I which I still feel like he is. I just think maybe there's something that you might be missing. That's why I say I need to go back in there and fully to be able to
Well, I
debate
just
with you
read it.
about this.
Matthew is quoting a line from Hosea 11 and saying Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy, out of Egypt I've called my son. But in reality, what Matthew has done is cherry picked half of a man's sentence from Hosea and said it's a prophecy about Jesus, but it's clearly not. It's clearly talking about Israel. And if you read the very next line, it says, the more I called from them, the more they went from me and kept sacrificing to Baals and offering incense to idols. This is clearly not about Jesus because Jesus wasn't sacrificing to Baal. So it's
Yeah, but
Matthew
I mean,
lying again.
but that's what. But it sounds like you're basing your whole basis for falling out of your faith. It sounds like is through a man or Matthew in the Bible. You feel is not um that he's stating that there's prophecies that haven't been fulfilled in the New Testament that was spoken about in the Old. That's what you feel like, and that's what threw you
So
out your
you don't
faith, I
so
guess. But
so you don't care if Jesus actually fulfilled the prophecies that the New Testament says he does?
but that's why I say I'm not going to speak out of ignorance. I will have to, like I say, go in there and actually go through those verses myself, particularly, and actually break them down, and then come back and give you a breakdown on them. But I wouldn't just say out of ignorance that I feel like it wasn't fulfilled. I think even like I mean
Well,
I
how
mean
was this
I
fulfilled
hear
then?
you reading them. I hear you reading it, but I would need to go back and verse it for myself to actually debate it with you. But I won't sit here and agree and say those prophecies wasn't fulfilled. I can't sit here and agree
Yeah,
with you
well,
and
I
say that.
mean, yeah, I respect that. I respect that. I really do. But I mean, listen to the words of it. They kept sacrificing to the Baals and offering incense to idols. Like, this is clearly not about Jesus. I don't think you need to go do like a scholarly study to know this line isn't about Jesus. It can't be.
I mean, but that was happening at that time, though. I mean, I don't understand what that
Sure, in
text
Hosea,
that was.
yeah, he's just retelling the Exodus narrative. That's all this is. My problem is Matthew is saying this is a prophecy about Jesus when it's clearly not even a prophecy, and it's clearly not about Jesus.
Yeah, so that's
And
what I will do is go into Matthew and because it sounds like it's a lot of Matthew that you're saying. I'm hearing a lot of Matthew, so
yeah, I use
I actually
Matthew a
haven't
lot.
read Matthew. That's why I haven't been able to go back and forth with you about Matthew a lot. I
Oh
haven't
crap, that's probably why you're a Christian.
yeah, I haven't fully read Matthew. I've read, like I said, I've read the whole I've read the whole Old Testament though. And as far as the New Testament, I've read John and um a couple other books. And like I said, I've read Revelations. And I've read part of Matthew actually, but I haven't read it enough to actually debate with you about him basically not being truthful is what you're saying.
That's cool. Well, I
So that's
usually
why I say I
use
would need
the
to
first
go.
two chapters of Matthew because he names 5 prophecies that Jesus is fulfilling, but not a single one contextually has anything to do with Jesus. Some of them aren't even prophecies, and some of them aren't even in there, as we've just seen. So, yeah, I have immense
Yeah,
problems
like I
with the
said,
New Testament.
yeah, I'll go in. It seems like I still feel it's a tedious reason to fall out your faith because of a man in the Bible that you feel like wasn't speaking. Like I feel like that's a very tedious reason to fully fall out your faith, you know. But
We've only went through
like
2
I would
things, though.
I
I
would
have a
expect you to
whole lot
more
more
have
reasons.
problems
And
with
like I said, we could sit here for the next week straight, and I could show you problems with these texts.
but I want to hear I don't want to hear like tedious small like scripts that you feel like contradict itself. Like I want to know like is there something about God? Is it something about Yahweh or is it
Yeah,
something
it's
about the
fake.
Trinity that you
God
have
is
a problem with?
unjust. He's evil. Even if he was real and I thought it was a real God, I wouldn't worship him. I think the God of the Bible is a psychotic, narcissistic psycho, and I would never worship it. But the problem is, Jesus doesn't actually fulfill any of these roles that the New Testament says he does. The Old Testament don't even describe Jesus. It's not even kind of close. You know what I'm saying? And the God is just straight up evil anyway. Plus, there's lots of contradictions with the Old Testament too. The prophecies fail themselves there. So I don't see any reason to believe any of this. If you want a more in general answer like that.
Um, yeah, I definitely wanted like something. I mean, I can from you saying that I can hear that out more than you speaking about Matthew and what he said. I mean, I don't agree with what you're
Yeah, well, I
saying,
was just giving
but
you examples of
you
Jesus
saying
not
that gives me
fulfilling
a
the
better
prophecy.
picture. Yeah, you saying that gives me a better picture of why you're not in your faith anymore. But I think it's understanding is a key point also. I think it's understanding that you may be
I do
lacking.
understand it. That's why I left Christianity.
Yeah, well, like I said, in the Old Testament, it was prophesied that Jesus would come in the New Testament. That was
Never was.
prophesied, even though Jesus'
Nope.
name wasn't physically brought up, but the fact that he would
He
have to
wasn't
bring
even
the
prophesied.
fact of him,
Nothing in the Old Testament describes Jesus.
his name wasn't mentioned, no, but it was prophesied that his son would have to be sacrificed. That he would come,
Where?
that the father would bring his son down to the earth to be sacrificed. That
Where?
was
Show me that
just like
prophecy.
just like how you brought up the rainbow being a covenant that the world would never be flooded again. But he said he would come back by fire. That was like an insight into a revelation all the way back into the Old Testament when the world was flooded the first time. That lets you know that he already knew that revelation would take place all the way back in Exodus. So there was plenty of things that was prophesied
So
in the
where's
Old
there a
Testament that
prophecy
relates to
about
the
God
new.
sacrificing his son for sins?
Like I said, I will go back in there and give you a specific verse. I'm actually out right now. Don't have time to actually like go in there and give you the specific verse for it. But I know that you could find it if you actually want to go in there for yourself. But there's plenty of
I
things that
know
was
this book pretty
prophesied.
good. I've got it all
Like I
right
said,
here.
you're not gonna find where it says Mary is going to have a virgin birth and she's going to birth Jesus and Jesus is going to be born in Nazareth, and it's not detailed like
I
that. But you
agree.
can't. And that's why I think it's understanding for you. I think you're kind of looking for it to be just plain out right in front of your face, and if it's not right in front of your face, it's like, okay, it's not true. And I don't
I
think
would
that's
accept
how
it
it's
if it
written.
even made contextual sense at all. If
Okay,
this
so
book
do you
actually
agree?
made
Do you
sense,
agree
I would
that?
still be a Christian.
Okay, so do you agree that Revelation was prophesied in the Old Testament?
No.
Okay, so
There's
okay, so what is your
allusions to it,
contradiction?
but the actual destruction of Rome is what Revelations is about, and the Old Testament never talks about a destruction of Rome.
What makes you think that he was speaking about the destruction of Rome?
You mean in Revelation?
No, I'm saying from him saying that when he said I'll come back by fire, because you got to understand when the world was flooded, the world was flooded. It wasn't just one
Right.
city, one place. The world was flooded. So when he say I'm not going to come back by water, I'll come back by fire. That's not on the Rome is a place. That's not the whole entire world. You get what I'm saying? So that wouldn't. That's why I think and that's why I say I think you're lacking understanding. I don't think it's a. I think you just lack understanding as far
I
as
don't.
actually trying to sit there and get what the Father is trying to tell you. I think you rather contradict it.
Well, the Father gave
And I
us a
think
bunch
it
of
may be
false
other.
prophecies and contradictions in the book, so I don't see any reason to trust it.
Yeah, I think I think it's one of those things where you got a cup that's half full and you can either look at it half full or half empty. You see it as half empty, but
Because of the context.
yeah,
That's because of the content of the glass.
yeah. Like I said, to me personally, I'll go ahead and get out of the live, but I will say that I truly think that it's just better understanding that you need as far as the scripture goes and how the prophecies were fulfilled. I think you just need to be versed a little better to help you
Well,
understand.
you
And
can
maybe have somebody
enlighten me.
walk you through it. And that's what I want to do. I just simply don't have the time right now.
Oh, darn.
But yeah,
I wish you could save
it's a
me.
Tuesday. Yeah, you know what, brother? If I had the time to right now, I would. But what I will do is
It's
hopefully if
cool.
I
It's
can get
cool.
back in here
I'll
one
just
day.
sit over here in my
Yeah,
heathenism.
yeah, it's no problem, brother. But what? Hopefully one day if we come across each other's paths again, I would definitely try to sit down and break down each verse and try to help you understand each prophecy and everything.
Well, I'm
But
on
yeah,
here every
just from
day,
the simple,
dog.
just from
Study
the
up
simple
whatever you want to
fact
look
of,
up and make some notes on whatever you want to make notes on, and come on back and we'll see who's right about what. And in your head, you might make me a Christian, and in my head, I'll make you an atheist.
okay, that'll be nice, brother. I would like to talk to you again and hopefully bring you over to Christ. So that will be my goal, and I do
I hear
appreciate
you. My
talking to you.
goal is
You
to
let
bring
me.
you to Team Atheism.
All right, well, we'll cross paths again, brother. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. Well, have a good one, buddy.
All right, you too, boss.
I'll drop you back here. Well, that was a nice fella. We had a couple good conversations now. Look at that. Take notes out there, folks. This is how you actually have conversations. Isn't that neat? All right. Well, still got about 35 minutes, so I can bring up at least one or two more. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see where we're at. 867 followers. We are moving up. We are moving up. they tend to come out every now and then, Joe. once in a while. Oh man. Sometimes I don't get none of those though. I feel like I went like a week without talking to somebody cool. Like, I don't know how I do it, man. Lots of Tylenol or some shit. Damn. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's pretty wild that it's crazy how many people actually admit they've never read it and then proceed to argue with me about what it says when I read it a whole bunch. Like, I got it pulled up right here in front of me. I read it to them sometimes, and they're like, yeah, I don't think it says that. Like, you heard what I just said, right? Like, I read it. It's just how it is. Just how it is, you know. All right, let's see what's happening here. Oh, we do got one. Shit. Maybe not. Thought we was loading. Yeah, I don't think so. Well, shit. Alright. This Sunday coming up, I'm going to be doing a tag team event with my man Outrageous Atheist. We're going to jump on Sunday morning and throw up a WWE style debate with the both of us. We'll try out a little teamwork debate coming up this Sunday, so that'll be interesting. I do as well, Joe. I really like Isaiah. Isaiah's a little bit harder though. It's a good question. I don't know, maybe the regular time. I'll probably try to start pretty early on Sunday. I like to try to catch the before church crowd, so maybe like 6 to 9:30, but I'll work it out with him and let everybody know. Maybe tomorrow or something. It'll be fun though. We might even try like a panel type thing. I don't know how I feel about them, but we'll give it a shot. I feel like they're hard to follow, and I don't know. Like, if I'm in there with multiple people, like, I think I'm too, not necessarily shy, but I'm too reserved on when I should start talking because I don't want to, like, hog up the stuff. Where if I'm up here by myself, I'm a lot more comfortable. And I don't feel like I'm stepped on anybody or whatever. Jamar, you there?
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? Are you over 18?
Yes, sir. I'm 39 years old. We're both millennials, bro. I just want to say I'm listening into your conversations, man. I appreciate how respectful and knowledgeable you have been with the people you've been talking to, bro. So,
Oh, thank you.
want to say,
I
you
try.
seem cool guy, man. Yeah, that's what's up.
I do what I can. Are you a Christian yourself?
You know, I don't like to adhere to any religious doctrine, but I do believe in God and I do believe in Jesus.
Oh, cool. So do you want to debate one of these topics here or address something we already said? Maybe you got something to correct me on? Or?
Well, I just wanted to ask your perspective on Isaiah 53
Yes,
because
yes. I love Isaiah 53.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear your perspective on it, bro, because I heard the conversations you were having with the previous individuals, and they couldn't bring up anything that referenced Jesus in the Old Testament. And I believe that Isaiah 53 specifically indicates him, not by name, but by nature and the prophecy that he did fulfill.
So why do you think that's about Jesus in Isaiah 53 specifically?
Well, the reason why is because it basically describes a suffering servant who's rejected, uses the word pierced, silent before his accusers, dies for other sins, and is buried in a rich man's tomb. So basically, Jesus lived this exactly, which was proving that he is the Messiah who saves humanity. In my
So
perspective,
so you think Jesus is the suffering servant, right?
yeah, I think it describes him pretty accurately.
Okay, so if I can show you like a whole bunch of occasions where it calls Israel themselves the servant, would that change your opinion there?
Well, I'm interested to hear your perspective.
Yeah, so if you read leading up to chapter 53, it says explicitly 6 or 7, 8 times that the servant is Israel. It calls him this over and over again. And like in chapter 44 here, it says, "But hear now, O Jacob, my servant, Israel, whom I have chosen." Then you skip on down to 21. It says, "Remember these things, O Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I formed you. You are my servant, O Israel. Do not forget me." If you read chapter 43, it says, "You are the witnesses, or you are my witnesses, says the Lord, and my servant." So God himself is literally saying the servant, singular person, are the witnesses. So it's multiple people that he's referring to here, right? Like in Hosea 11, it says, "When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I called my son." So literally through the whole Testament, God refers to a servant or a he, him, but he's always talking about Israel every single time. But the key to understanding chapter 53 is in chapter 52 and chapter 54. So let me see. Tell you what, this don't even take this long. I'll read it to you real quick. So hold on a second.
Okay,
I
bro.
gotta shut these damn dogs up. They're driving me crazy.
Okay, bro.
Good morning, everybody. Everybody on ship started. We're going around.
All right. So the key to understand Isaiah 53 is in chapter 52 because the suffering servant song actually starts in chapter 52. And there's a reason that it places it all like this, but I'll read this whole little chapter here. It doesn't take very long. It only takes a minute.
Okay, bro.
So if you start chapter 52, this is what it says. It says, "Awake, awake, put on your strength, O Zion, put on your beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for the uncircumcised and the unclean shall enter you no more. Shake yourself from the dust, rise up, O captive Jerusalem, loose the bonds from your neck, O captive daughter Zion." So it's saying Jerusalem and Zion is in chains right now. They have chains on their neck. That's what the exiles in Babylon have on their neck is chains. They've been enslaved. Anyway, it says, "For thus says the Lord, you who were sold for nothing, you shall be redeemed without money. For thus says the Lord God, long ago my people went down into Egypt to reside there as aliens. The Assyrian too has oppressed them without cause. Now therefore, what am I doing here, says the Lord, seeing that my people are taken without cause? Their ruler's house, says the Lord, and continually all day long my name is despised. Therefore my people shall know my name. On that day they shall know it is I who speak. It is I." So he's saying there's a day going to come when everybody's about to know the Lord. And it's about to tell us exactly what day that is. It says, "How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet that the messenger whom announces peace, who brings good news, who announces salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. Listen, your sentinels lift up their voices. Together they shout for joy. For in plain sight they shall see the return of the Lord to Zion. Break forth, shout together for joy, you ruins of Jerusalem. For the Lord has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord has bared his holy arm before the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of God. Depart, depart, go out from there, and touch no unclean thing. Go out from the midst of it, purify yourselves, you who carry the vessels of the Lord. For you shall not go out in haste, and you shall not go out in flight. For the Lord will go before you, and the God of Israel shall be your rear guard. So that's the most important couple verses leading up to 53 here. And the most important one was verse 10, where that says, the Lord has bared his holy arm before the eyes of all nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of God. So he's saying that the day that the exiles return to Jerusalem is the day of salvation, right? Did you pick up on that?
Yeah, I'm following, bro.
Okay. And when it says depart, depart, go out from there, do you know where they're departing from?
I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah. In verse 11, it says, depart, depart, go out from there, touch no unclean thing. Do you know where they're departing from?
No.
They're departing from Babylon, right?
That would make sense.
Yeah. So the most important part was that line right there that revealed who the Lord has bared his holy arm before the eyes of all nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of God. So if you read the very first line, well, the first two lines in Isaiah chapter 53, it reiterates this part because it asks them as rhetorical questions. So the first line in Isaiah 53 is, who has believed what we have heard, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? So we just read it. The arm of the Lord is being revealed to the eyes of all nations, right?
Okay. So I have a
Right.
question.
So, sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. But
You're good.
so what about Israel as a nation? It doesn't die. It isn't pierced, and also cannot
It
bear
is,
the
though.
sins of the many. Literally, like if we're talking about literal terms.
Yeah, they are. They're the covenant to the nations. Their sin is being paid for double. That's why God put them into exile in Babylon. So literally the day of salvation, according to what we just read in chapter 52, is the day they depart from Babylon.
Okay.
That's how we know what this is talking about in 53, because the eyes of all nations, it says, to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? Question mark. This is the first line in chapter 53. And it actually, whether it says pierce or not is up for debate, but it really doesn't even matter, because either way, we know that the people watching this is the entire world from the perspective on Isaiah chapter 53. And the Israelites themselves are the covenant, the light to the people. In the very next chapter, it says, just as I promised I would never flood the earth again with the waters of Noah, so I promise that you will never be confounded or put to shame ever again. He's promising everlasting love to the exiles in Babylon this time. So if the day of salvation is when the exiles leave Babylon, then there's no way that this is talking about Jesus. And if you go down to verse 10 in chapter 53, it says, yet he was crushed yet it was the will of the Lord to crush him with affliction. When you make his life an offering for sin, he shall see his offspring and shall prolong his days. So unless Jesus had children, then this is clearly not about Jesus, I don't think.
Okay, bro. Well, I respect your stance. I vehemently disagree, but I have a question for you as well. So you basically said that you were once a believer and now you're atheist. So does that mean that you don't believe in God at all? Like not even a little bit? Not
Yeah, I
not
don't
just
believe in
not
any
not
God.
not the God of Israel as people would refer to him, but like not God, period. No creator, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
perfectly natural universe, yeah.
Okay. So what makes you want to study the Bible the way that you do? You read to me
I
like
already
a
know it. I was
pretty
a Christian until I
extensive
was almost
scripture.
30 years old.
Okay. So I mean to this day, like what makes you still continue to do so?
I like debating about it, and for starters, but I think when people actually drop Abrahamic religion, I think the world's going to be better off. So this is my, in a weird way, helping humanity, or attempting to, anyhow.
So you study the Bible just to
Yeah,
basically debate it and to find things that are wrong with it.
pretty much.
Basically,
Yeah. Well, I love history too. I've been obsessed with history ever since I was a kid, and the Bible's a big part of history, so I like it for that too. But I like all of history, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, well, I got some more questions for you, bro.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to go to Turkey recently, man. I went out to Turkey like 3 weeks ago, and
That's
I went
awesome.
and visited the. Oh man, it's one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. If you ever have the opportunity to go, have you been before?
No, but I want to. I hear it's the bomb.
Oh, bro, the food, the people, the culture, just amazing. But the reason why I went is because there are biblically historical sites that have been preserved that are in modern day
Like
Turkey.
what?
So I went to Ephesus, for instance. I visited the seven churches of Revelation, where they once
You know, those
stood.
all
And,
started as like temples to Zeus and stuff, right?
well, I understand that they were the first and earliest churches in Christianity, and
Yeah, but there was something else before that. I mean, like Ephesus had one of the largest temples in the ancient world. It was a temple to Artemis.
yeah, trust me, I saw it all. I saw it all with my own eyes. I was there.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
I went to the cave where John the apostle received the revelation. You know, I saw these things. So my question
Oh
to you
shit.
is my question to you is this: if the Bible and God is not real, why for thousands of years, specifically in Turkey, which is 95% Muslim, why would they preserve these historically, biblically Christian sites for thousands of years if it doesn't even pertain to their religion of their country? Why would that still stand?
Actually, that's a pretty easy answer. For starters, tourism and money. But second of all, holy places, even in the ancient world and all through history, tend to stay holy. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Like, just for example, you know where Baalbek is in Lebanon? You ever heard of that?
Nah, bro.
Well, it's one of the most famous kind of temples in the world. Like the Romans did construction there for like 200 years, but it started as a small altar on a hill like 6,000 years ago. So another culture came along after that and thought it was a holy place, but they just converted it. You know what I mean? But like, just for example, like a church, when they're taken over by Muslims, they don't destroy the church. They just turn it into a mosque. You know what I mean? But it's the same difference. Like the Temple of Zeus became a church. Then the Muslims took over and that church became a mosque. You know what I mean? But my point is, holy places tend to stay holy all through history. Like they never really scrub them out. So preserving stuff like that is actually lines up with what happens in history pretty good.
Okay, so what I learned, I agree with you, bro. And what I learned from going there is that the Bible itself is just as much history books as it would be considered the word of God to billions of people. Like it's a history book. There's things in that book, in those books, I should say, that still exist and stand to this day. So when people try to discredit it, you could literally travel the world and go stand in some of these places that have been preserved for thousands of years.
Yeah,
So
but how could you
my
possibly
question,
know that John actually stayed in a cave there?
well, that's the thing, man. Like it's similar to almost any place that you could go. You know, I went to the Colosseum, you know, in Rome. You know, there's these things that still exist thousands of years
Yeah, check
after.
this
Where
out. I
like
don't know
they're
if you can see
basically
it, but I
telling us
actually
things.
got a Roman coin right here,
That's sick,
and
bro. That's
That's
sick, man.
Vespasian. It's Vespasian on the coin.
That's pretty cool, man.
Shit, trying to get.
Wow, that's probably worth something. That's probably worth
Damn
something,
it!
dude.
I think I paid like $250 for it.
Yeah, I would hold
But
on to that,
yeah,
man.
it's
That's
a
pretty dope.
denarius. It's a Vespasian denarius.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the things, let me be honest with you, bro. I have read the entire Bible, but when people claim to know the whole Bible and to be like well versed on it, I don't think that's possible, bro. That's like somebody saying that they understand the dictionary. Like the Bible in itself is over 30,000 verses. Like most people can't remember what they wore yesterday. So when people are saying that
Yeah, I
they
agree.
know this and this and this and this, like they're just cherry picking certain points that support what they believe, like to support their beliefs. Just like slavery in America. People always point that out. That's a point of contention when they're like, why would God allow slavery? Look at this. God said this. God said that, right? That's
Right.
what they do. But because it supports their narrative. Just like when they were enslaving the people and using those scriptures to make those people believe that they were supposed to be treated a certain way.
Sure. I mean, I
So
agree with you. I don't expect
I don't
anybody to know the Bible. Like, I read Jeremiah and Isaiah all the freaking time, but I can't tell you out of memory what every single chapter is about.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Me either, bro. So
But
that's what I'm
this is what
saying.
I do. I focus on certain parts and stay with those inside the context. Like, I use 3 books mostly. I use Matthew, Jeremiah, and Isaiah for the most part. I do bounce around to other stuff, but I focus on those 3 because I know those 3 the best and I know the context. But I can explain in all those 3 anything I want to push out, basically, because I can show
Okay.
you failed covenants and prophecies, made up
Okay.
prophecies, all kind of stuff just in those 3 books. Is why I focus
Okay.
on those.
Okay. Well, I get it. I totally understand that. So what would be the purpose of that, bro? What would be the purpose of learning the gospels and then basically preaching against it when in a nutshell,
Well, I mean,
and
nobody's going to take me serious in a debate if I don't know anything about what I'm debating, will they?
hold on a second, brother. I got an important question for you because you're talking about the gospels, bro. So in a nutshell, it and you can let me know if I'm wrong. Please let me know if I'm wrong. Overall, the overall message of the entire Bible, all 30,000 plus verses, is summed up by Jesus in the Gospels, where he simply says this, and we're going to go to Mark 12:29 through 31. The most important one, answered Jesus, is this: Hear, O Israel, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. So through all the crap that went through in the Bible, the incest, the rape, the shenanigans, the genocide, Jesus sums it up with these words. Now, my question to you is this, brother: why would anybody on planet Earth want to discredit any individual, real or fake, that is preaching for us to not only love ourselves, but to love each other as we would love ourselves, which is essentially preaching self-love and also preaching to love one another as if they were you? Why
You know
would
that's
anybody want to
Levitical law,
discredit
right?
somebody like that? Yo, I'm fully aware, bro. Yeah, I'm fully aware, but I'm saying that's how Jesus sums up everything. So why
Yeah, I
would
agree.
somebody want to
Jesus had some
discredit
good
that?
moral teachings, but at the same time, he had some really bad ones too.
I'm
So, like,
no,
I
bro.
think it's
I'm
cool that, you know, somebody's teaching to love your neighbor and stuff like that, but he also teaches bad stuff.
no,
And
bro.
just, yeah.
Please.
Yeah, it says in
I'm sorry. I don't
Mark
mean to
chapter
interrupt
7.
you,
Well, in
but I'm
Mark chapter
saying
7,
that
he chastises the Pharisees for not putting their children to unalignment as per the law of Moses. So, I mean, he's saying you have to keep the law here. And the 2 greatest laws are loving God and loving your neighbor, right? But he
that's
doesn't
all
say
I'm
these laws
saying.
are going to go away. So, if you got to keep all these laws, including Levitic laws, like loving your neighbor, then you also are allowed to have slaves and stuff like that under this same law. That's what I'm saying.
My,
You can't just take the good in this case and leave the bad, because there's a lot of bad that goes with the good.
that's my question. That's the question that I'm posing to you, sir. Is
Right.
if Jesus sums up everything, you know, because I've read the Bible, like I told you, I know about the crap. It's crazy. People who haven't read the Bible don't know how crazy it is. Like the shit that actually goes on in the Bible. Like I
Yeah, it
have
is
issues with
crazy.
it too. I still don't understand how God, who created all people, will say, now you can only talk to me through Jesus. I'm sorry, I do have an issue with that because it's divisive. It's divisive, and it's one of the reasons why most people have issues
Jesus
with
was
this, because
divisive. Jesus said, "I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword."
no,
He said,
no,
"I'm
no,
going to
because
pit
no,
father
no.
against mother, and mother against father, and daughter-in-law
Lo-
against mother-in-law."
love your neighbor as yourself. That's
Levitic
his main
law.
message. That's his main message. That is
His
Jesus's
main
message.
message was to
Period.
keep the law.
And what is the law? Love the Lord your
There's
God
lots
with
of
all your
laws.
heart. No,
It's also a
that's what he
law that
summed it
says
up
you
to.
have to unalive anybody that turns to other gods or entices you to other gods. That's a Levitic law too.
Well, I'm not pointing at Leviticus, bro. I'm pointing
Yeah,
specifically
but
at the
what you're
Gospels.
literally, Jesus is quoting Levitic law. Like loving your neighbor as yourself is Levitic law.
I'm fully aware, bro. I'm fully aware.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm
what I'm
saying, like, you can't say this
Mhm.
law is good and not that one, and you only have to keep this one and not that one, because Jesus did not say those are the only two laws. He just said those two are the greatest, but you have to keep them all, and that's what Jesus taught.
He said there's no commandment greater than these. So
Yeah.
whatever
He's just saying they're the
comes
best,
below
not the
that,
only ones.
whatever comes outside of that, it's almost like he's saying it's irrelevant, because this is what it
Yeah,
all
but
comes
he's
down
not.
to. Well, my question was this to you, brother. Why would anybody on earth want to discredit anybody who's saying these words? Whether it's whether we're talking about Puff the Magic Dragon, or we're talking about a real human being or a fake human being, why would
I'm
somebody want to
discrediting him
discredit
because
somebody
he
like
says
that?
other words besides those.
Okay,
Those aren't the only words he says.
okay, but if
So, I
just in
mean,
a perfect,
Schmittler could
okay,
say unalive all the Jews and love your neighbor as yourself. I don't think I would still discredit Schmittler. You know what I'm saying?
that's a pretty extreme example, bro.
Well, I mean, yeah, I wanted
You
it to
don't
be
think
extreme,
so?
but yeah.
That's pretty extreme, bro. Jesus versus Hitler. I mean,
Well,
that's pretty
God can
wild,
be
bro.
compared to Schmittler. And if
Now,
Jesus is God, I think it's a good comparison. So,
God compared to Hitler, bro.
yeah. Yeah, God
I mean,
unalive his
that
own
says
people.
a lot about how you feel about God, bro. So okay,
That's
so
what it
well, let me
says it
ask.
does.
Let me ask you this, man. Like, so where do you derive your moral compass from? Where do you decide? How do you decide what is right and
Actual
what is wrong?
standards that we use to judge those types of things, like well-being, harm, happiness, health, stuff like
Well,
that.
where do you get it from?
From our perspectives of how we feel as humans in a society, we have to
Who
agree
who?
on how we want our society to be. But
Well, who?
morally, that's what I'm saying. We base it on factors like health and happiness and comfort and stuff like that. Actual criteria.
Who determines that?
All of us.
So you're saying a collective or each individual?
Each individual. Morals are always subjective to the individual.
So individually, we can all decide what is moral.
For yourself, yeah, you have to.
Okay, so you know the type of we're the same age, bro. You know the type of stuff that people do. So who are we to
Yeah.
say then if people determine their own morality, who are we to say who is right or wrong? If a person thinks it's perfectly moral to be with underage people, to be a PDF file because that's who they're attracted to, who are we to
Like
say that
Moses.
they're wrong? If it's determined by each individual, if morality
Yeah,
is
it's
determined
my
by an
opinion that they're
individual,
wrong because that's
okay,
wrong.
it's your
There's other
opinion.
people involved. Yeah.
Okay, so morality comes down to a person's opinion then.
Yeah, but morality is how we treat each other in that regard. So you always have to consider the other side as well. It's not just about what I feel is right. Like I can think Schmurder's great, but if the person that I Schmurder don't think it's great, then we have a problem, don't we?
Well, they wouldn't be thinking anything now, would they, brother? So that's my question. So if we have these laws that were created so that mankind doesn't run around raping people, having sex with their moms, and doing all this crazy crap, like why discredit that and focus on the bad shit that's gonna happen anyway? And it's all humans. It's not God doing these things. It's humans.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we have to do a better job and actually talk to each other and get this stuff pushed out here rather than relying on a book that violates these objective morals on the constant.
Well, where else are we supposed to get information from, bro? If
We
just
get it
imagine it's
ourselves.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we can all agree that at least in general, people prefer
No,
happiness to sadness and health to sickness and stuff like that.
that's not true, bro.
That's where
That's
we
not
have to
true.
start. Yes, it is.
That's not true. People,
Yes, it
what
is.
what what makes what one man's trash is another man's treasure. We don't know what makes people happy. Ted Bundy
That's why we
enjoyed
have to talk
dead
about it
bodies,
and
bro.
agree how our society is going to run based on these things. But
And then,
it's
okay, how do
still
we
going
do
to
that?
always be subjective.
Well, how do we do that? We're
There,
going to follow the Constitution. People believe in that.
sure,
That
sure.
that's
Bill of
written
Rights, yeah.
doctrine. That's written doctrine by people who did what?
On
By people
slaves.
who did what, bro? Okay, so but we will adhere to that. We'll believe all that crap. Why? Why
Because
is
God said it was
John
okay in the
Adams?
Bible.
Why? No. Why is John
Yeah.
Adams more credible than Jesus Christ?
I don't know.
Why
Maybe
is
it makes more
Benjamin
sense.
Franklin more
Maybe he's
credible?
alive.
How do you know that? History
I don't know
books?
what. Yeah.
History books? Isn't the Bible? Didn't we already determine that the Bible is our history books?
No, the Bible gets some history right, but it gets a whole lot of stuff wrong too. So
So who's to say the history books that we were taught in school, which we already learned a lot of it was bullshit? Why are we believing that instead?
I don't believe it. It just depends on what it is.
Okay, well I'm just saying,
I
bro.
want to believe
We
what can actually be shown to be true, not what a book tells me to believe and who to love and hate.
well
I
unfortunately,
will
bro.
be
There's
deciding those things for myself.
I respect that, bro. But unfortunately, people want to try to understand a being that exists outside of our finite experience with our finite brains, bro. We're like ants on an anthill, trying to understand
I'll
things
just
that
use the
cannot be
brain I got the
understood.
best I can. So when the book says you can own slaves and Moses takes child schmeck slaves, I don't think that's good. And that's just my subjective opinion. But either way, this
Okay,
is
okay,
horrific to me.
okay, okay. No, I get it, bro. And on top of that, like there's no book that would ever be able to explain consciousness. Like if we get down to the bare minimum
Yeah,
of
it
why
can.
we
That's
even
neurology.
exist, that's not consciousness. That explains the
It is
brain.
consciousness. Consciousness and humans come from a brain. If you smack somebody upside the head, their consciousness goes away. That's how we know it's in the brain.
Nah, bro. There's
Yeah.
nowhere.
You're
Give me
telling
a
me
reference. Give me a reference.
if you
Give me a
poo
reference.
somebody in the head, you're telling me they stay conscious?
Give me a. We don't know. Explain NDEs. Explain NDEs and why they're so similar.
They're not actually dead. That's a near-death experience. That's just people's brains. Like
Why
you
are they
can
so
take
similar?
drugs and
Why are
have
they so?
experiences like that. Like they're not
Why?
similar. Some people say nothing didn't happen. Other people see Egyptian gods. Some people see Jesus. It all depends on the culture. Again, those are subjective. If literally every near-death experience was the same and people saw heaven and Jesus, that would say something, but they don't. There's lots of information on this. I think he cut out.
Exist in the universe,
Shit.
and we're just going by what scientists say. Why do we trust what they say?
Because they actually prove it.
How can they prove, bro? Nobody's been to the sun. How can anybody prove what that is?
Have you ever
How,
went
how
outside and
can
like felt
somebody
the heat
prove what
off
the
of it?
hell the sun? How can we not prove that big ball in the sky is not God Himself? That this whole time he's been
Is this serious
watching
questions?
a bright light in the sky. How can we prove that? We can't even go there. If they're saying it's as hot as it is, how the fuck can we go to the sun and prove that that's the motherfucking sun?
We're not. Nobody goes to the sun. We wouldn't go.
We can't
survive
go.
there or anywhere
So we
near it.
trust in
Yeah.
we trust in these weirdos, fucking Albert Einstein ass people. We don't even fucking know who they are. They probably are fucking PDF files doing weird shit on the deep web, and we trust in their words.
You all right, bud? You sound like you're building up for a crash out there.
I'm not crashing out. I'm just saying, bro. Like people have gotten so convoluted in themselves, have gotten so inside themselves that we feel like we got this pompous attitude that we can even understand anything. Now, my brother, I don't know about you, but the older that I get, I realize the less I know.
Yeah, same. But I know plenty about this book. Oh shit! This signal dropped out there.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, it's showing your signal really, really bad.
Go for 2-3.
Crap. I'm actually about to have to jump off anyway, buddy. But shoot, I don't know what's happening there. I wish I could finish that up. I'll just drop you back. Your signal's bad. But anyway, we ended up having 3 pretty good conversations there in a row. So, what a great day today. Outrageous Atheist. I thought I saw him earlier. Is he still here? Let me see where we got to. Let's check in real quick. We got up 868. I had went up like 11 today. That's pretty darn good because I've only been on a couple hours, barely 2 hours. Don't have a ton of time today. But anyway, like I said, y'all look forward to Sunday. Me and the Outrageous Atheist are tag teaming event, baby. It's gonna be a WWE. That means, what does WWE mean? It means weighing stuff. Weighing, I don't know. It means something or another. But either way, promises to be a great debate day there. So we're looking forward to that. But buddy, I'm gonna get with you before then, and we'll get us a game plan together and stuff, and it'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of Outrageous Atheist. I like his lives a lot. Yeah, dog. Yeah. We about to get it on. Yeah, hopefully pretty early Sunday morning if that's cool with you, but we'll figure all that out for sure. We'll figure all that out. Damn, it's been a good show today. Had good conversations. Pretty satisfying to actually talk to some calm folks for once. Not have the spaz outs. Didn't start off great. Started off a little rocky, but we smoothed out. We got a path made through the wilderness. An easy path there. Oh, also, check out my YouTube channel, also Apostate Ape, and you can watch the replays that I post there. Thank you, Patrina. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, maybe Outrageous and I'll do like I don't know, maybe we could do like a panel thing. We bring up a couple Christians at once there. We can make them fight. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see there. It'll be freaking fun, though. It'll be freaking fun. Let's see what I got. And oh yeah, I forgot. You can swipe and see all the stuff. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the shit out of all the engagement today. It's always good. It always blows me away. Let's see. We do got. Hello, Dark and Menthol Monkey. If y'all want to come back, I'll be back on in the morning again. If y'all are still around, I would still love to talk to you, but I'm sadly kind of short on time this morning. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Like, we could get... Oh, man. Yeah, we get them going there. They could, some of the most entertaining debates I've ever seen was 2 Christians. Like, they're literally just spouting off Bible verses that contradict each other. You just take notes. Contradictions. It's pretty amazing. It's an amazing thing to behold. But all right, guys. I reckon I'm going to chop this one for now, and we will see y'all in the morning. This was my 29th day in a row of streaming. So tomorrow we're back for the big 3-0. I think I got a little bit longer. Tomorrow I could probably do a little bit longer. Today's a little harder. I got a little more running around to do. But look at the shit. I always feel great about the audience we get in here, man. I had 45, 50 people for a while. And I mean, there was a time I was like, wow, I got 5 whole people in here watching. 5 Felt like that was balling. But all right, guys, we will catch y'all tomorrow. The ape will be back. Patrina, Outrageous, Henry. Let me just scroll up through here. Everybody's so cool. Let me go back there. I'll say hello to everybody. Shit. Ghost. I almost forgot about Ghost there. All y'all. Inked. My girl, the screen tapper. Damn, we got a bunch of dang, always a lot of comments. Dang, that's cool. All right, guys. Well, y'all have an excellent day, and we will catch y'all tomorrow. I will, shoot, if somebody's got lives going on right now, jump over there to be listening and stuff. But we will catch y'all later.